Never drunk alcohol in my life.
Yeah, I suffered the alcohol withdrawal seizure at 19, and that kind of it made me realize that my drinking was way too bad, and basically got told that if I continue, then these things will happen again. If I stop drinking, then they won't. And that was basically that was it. Realize that how much enjoyment that you need to kind of see in yourself to be successful in anything you do, and to see the world as positive. If you see yourself in such a negative light and in a negative dynamic, the rest of the world becomes so dark and miserable and dreary. But I think when you begin to see yourself in a positive light, and you see yourself as a great person that you can be, everything else in the world becomes so much more brighter, and everything around you is more positive. You see the best in people rather than seeing the worst. And in situations when they don't go your way, you realize they're just another learning curve and another battle to overcome, rather than being something that's holding you back. I think that for me, whenever anything was put in front of me to make life harder, whether myself would make those challenges so much harder than they needed to be. Well, now when I became sober, these barriers that I had to overcome, they became easier because I saw myself being able to overcome them.
My father passed away when I was 2.5 years old because of a few organ failures. And the major reason for them was excessive consumption of alcohol. So since then, I saw my mother struggling a lot being a single parent and trying to raise two children. So back when I was a young kid itself, I had decided that I'll not add on to the worries of my mother ever. So yeah, it was back then itself. I guess at the age of 5 or 6, I decided that I'll never get into intoxication.
It became such a circle of where everything was a cycle of basically being drunk and hungover every other day, that it got to a point where those negative days got worse and worse and worse.
There were a few other friends who supported my decision a lot. They were like, dude, like, since you do not want to consume alcohol, I respect you, man, and things like that. So a few friends, in fact, they made sure that whenever there was alcohol on the table, they always separated the alcoholic drinks from the non-alcoholic drinks. So even by accident, I wouldn't pick up the alcohol. So yeah, I have had friends who are on this amazing supportive end of the
I think
spectrum.
one of the toughest things about drinking is initially is when you stop, you see all your mates going out doing the same things that you were doing for so long that became your life, and that now you've got to change. It's you start to kind of think, how do your mates react? How will they feel about you not drinking? How do they respond? And it becomes like a kind of like an odd thing that you're there and you're the odd one out. But my mates were very good, and my mates didn't make me feel left out at all, and not all the time I always felt included, no matter that I wasn't drinking. So that kind of, at the beginning, that was horrible, but as it kind of got through and I carried on, my mates became, they were unbelievably supportive. So I think addiction is quite personal, especially when it's, when it's related to alcohol. Addiction is very personal, and it is tough. And there'll be some ways that you'll do it that won't work, and they won't be for you. But it's definitely not only one route out. There's many, and it's just finding which one is the best for you and which one suits you. And I think if you can get that right help for whichever way you decide to do it, and you get that help, the journey becomes easier, and you just got to have that supportive network. And if you've got that supportive network around you, you can achieve anything you want. And if that's cutting alcohol, then get that supportive network around you, who who you can trust, and they will push you straight all the way over the line. Without my mates and without my family, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near here, and I wouldn't be in the same position I am today. And everyone around me pushed me to get me over the line and carry on doing what I'm doing.